everybody. Welcome to Klub Kayfabe. It's a wrestling show by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. I'm Josh, and this is my co-host,
Sam.
Oh, Sam Well. So a little bit about us before we get started and jump into the show. I'm going to hand it over to Sam. Tell the people, didn't mean to curse y'all, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Oh, man. My journey started, I guess back in the late 90s. Seeing Kane, even with his sleeve, the big oven mitt glove. It's good times. Attitude era, I guess. I grew up in the ruthless aggression era, as we both know.
Yeah.
Brought a couple of our friends today. The American Dream, he's my favorite of all time. We talked extensively about that.
Yep.
And obviously I gotta have Gunther, the ring general. Then we got Finn Balor, because you're a Balor guy.
It's not that I'm a Balor guy. I'm an Irish guy. Any Irish wrestler, pretty much.
Yeah.
For me, my wrestling journey started in the early, mid '90s. Because I'm a little bit older than you. So I was alive, and I was actually coherent enough, as a child to be involved in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with wrestling because of the Attitude Era, and then Ruthless Aggression came around, and I was just like, oh, okay, let's keep this train moving, Yeah. And I've been a die-hard wrestling fan I'm 35 now, so been really, don't Kevin Hart me. Wow. So yeah, I've been a die-hard wrestling fan, and we decided to do this podcast because that's literally all we talk about.
Well, we've been talking about doing this.
Yeah, for a
while now.
While.
I think we came to the consensus we'll start our podcast along with the new season of WWE. That was killing me for 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, because you wanted to do it ASAP.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that were kind of going on and leading up to Mania.
Yeah.
That was questionable.
To talk about
questionable things going on, in my opinion. All the celebrities coming in, and according to TKO, that's going to be the norm now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I heard about that.
Yeah, big crossover of celebrities. I'm going to have to get used to it.
Yeah.
But interjecting Pat into the Randy and Cody situation didn't make much sense, and it definitely felt like a TKO move.
Yeah.
It was unneeded, and to be honest, I really think I'm not the biggest Punk fan, but I think him and Roman definitely outshined Cody and Orton.
Oh yeah, that's why they put him on night 2.
Right.
Because I think night 1 was the TKO show, and night 2 was actual WWE, Triple H, Michael Hayes, all those guys.
All the good guys.
Yeah.
That's what I call them now, is the good guys. It honestly sounds like TKO is starting to push them out.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens, That first night was, I don't know, it felt like a regular show of Raw.
Yeah, it was very underwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially WrestleMania as a whole kind of was underwhelming to me, at least. Because WrestleMania is supposed to be a big show. It's the grandest stage of them all, the biggest spectacle that you have in sports entertainment. And it just didn't check all the boxes for me.
Yeah, it felt like there was no emotion behind
No.
it. And I don't know if you noticed it. If you looked in the background of the matches going on, the stage lights and the screens and stuff, there was nothing going on. It was just black.
Yeah.
And, they usually have cool graphics going up and down, and it felt lifeless. I will say that The matches they did have, I did like them a lot. The matchups, but they were definitely way too short.
Well, they made sense in a way because they were the biggest feuds, the biggest marquee matchups leading into Mania. So, like, you had to throw in, Finn and Dom. People wanted to see that because honestly, I thought they were going to excommunicate Dom from the Judgment Day.
Right.
But it was Finn, which Finn was like, at the time, he was the longest tenured member of Judgment Day.
Right.
So now it's like there's no original members of Judgment Day left.
It's complete anarchy almost.
Yeah, but back to your point, the match times were a little short.
I want to say I've seen they averaged about 6.5 minutes or 7 minutes, something like that. Someone will fact check it. But I don't know. Do you think it's because they were pushing too many ads in there?
Absolutely. I feel like
Yeah.
TKO is trying to make as much money as they could through ad revenue instead of putting out the product that you've been advertising for how many months? Like the road to WrestleMania, you were advertising WrestleMania in Vegas. I can't tell you how many times I saw WrestleMania commercials, not even watching something related to wrestling. I got tired of hearing that Aerosmith song, Back in the Saddle. And I used to like that song. Yeah, so, like, you had all this time to push all your ads and everything, and then it's just like with the Super Bowl. I mean, the Super Bowl is a lot of ads, too.
Yeah, but they're not... Football is, like, not on a time crunch like wrestling is,
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah, you can shift matches around and, like, shorten time while they're in there, and you're going to piss the wrestlers off, obviously, but football's fine, I guess. I don't like it either, but it gives the guys a break from beating on each other so hard, but... Yeah, I think that's what Vince did well. Was
the time management. Yeah.
Time management and not jamming ads into your biggest show. I just felt... I hope this isn't going to be the regular.
The only thing that stayed true to the old WrestleMania format was there's no ads during the matches. That was the only thing that stayed true.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I remember back in the day, WrestleMania used to have musical guests. Like, I remember Limp Bizkit, Drowning Pool. Like,
I remember both of those.
Yeah, dude.
They were awesome.
And, people used to come out to, like, if you had a song that was actually made by an artist, you would come out to that. Like, Triple H came out to Motorhead.
Becky just now.
The old lip sync.
Yeah, I honestly, I didn't see anybody really talking about that.
But we saw it immediately.
We saw it immediately and called it out immediately because song hits. You're like, dude, come on.
It kind of, and I told you, I was like, dude, that right there is gonna outshine if this match was like a 5-star match. That blunder is gonna outshine it, and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know. The singer could be. He might have had some laryngitis or something going on, but someone messed up in between the communication of that. The WrestleMania just felt clunky this year and just a lifeless zombie.
Yeah, I hated WrestleMania last year. Hated it. I thought it was like one of the worst WrestleManias besides the triple threat match with Punk, Roman, and Seth. That was the best thing.
Yeah.
This WrestleMania just felt like...
It's regular Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and here's a Burger King ad. Like...
a fun Burger King ad at least.
Yeah. Yeah, and...
I think it was Burger King.
No, that was... I can't remember what that was, but that was hilarious.
That was a good one.
But it felt, like I said, it felt like the Super Bowl. Like, you're advertising all this new stuff. And you have all these new, like, commercials and ads with wrestlers in it. I was waiting for a brand new Slim Jim commercial with LA Knight, but...
Right. I do like that they do that.
Speaking of Slim Jim, fuck the Slim Jim table.
You hated this forever.
I still hate it. It's the dumbest thing ever.
I remember you text me. I get a text from you. You're like, "Is that a fucking Slim Jim table?" That was when they first started putting sponsors on everything, and this gaudy Slim Jim edged half of the table. It's like, oh my god!
And I told you, I was like,
Works.
I'm all good, fine and dandy with them having advertisements on the mat because they do it in Japan and everything. I'm used to that. But when you start slapping a Slim Jim logo on a table,
Seemingly, I get what they're saying. Snap into it. The table snaps. Whatever. Cool. It just looks terrible.
Sam,
It looks like shit.
we are one step away from having a table shaped like a Slim Jim.
I wouldn't mind it.
I hate you. But no, like
I'm
pretty soon the table is gonna look like a Slim Jim wrapper.
well.
No.
Think about this.
Mm-mm.
What did Penta come out as this WrestleMania?
But that was cool.
It was very cool. But
And I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
so am I. I was part. I can't really show it, but I was a part of it back in 2003. But anyway, I like when they do that, but like it's gonna get to a point where now like I don't know, LA Knight's gonna come out with his Slim Jim jacket or something. It's like,
Dude, I'm waiting for him to come out with a Slim Jim monster truck. Dressed like the old Macho Man Slim Jim commercial. Don't you dare.
that could be cool.
Yeah, and then Jey Uso's going to be on the back of it yeeting with Slim Jim fingers. I hope TKO doesn't watch it.
We could sell it to him.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
I'd stop, and I'm a diehard wrestling fan. I'd stop watching it. I'd be like, all right, AEW's where it's at.
I don't know. I think it would be funny, but getting out of the negatives of it, what between night 1 and 2, what did you like the most?
Even though it was a bittersweet moment, I liked the Oba and Brock match. I liked that it was a relative squash because it made Oba look strong, and it caught me off guard. And you were teary eyed, I was teary eyed. Brock taking off his gloves and his boots, and seeing Brock Lesnar, who's like literally the alpha male of the species,
Crying his ass off.
and Paul Heyman crying,
Bawling like a baby.
I was this close to breaking down because like I remember watching Brock when he debuted. I remember watching when he won the title from The Rock for the first time. I remember his match with Kurt Angle at Mania.
Yeah.
I watched that live with my dad, and my dad. That was the first time I ever heard about a concussion. I heard the word concussion. Honestly, my dad's like, "Oh, he's got a concussion." I'm like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
I want a concussion. That sounds cool. Like,
Well, it was.
that was honestly my highlight of the night. Just
Yeah.
because looking back at Brock Lesnar's career and what he's done for this business, and him being able to show his true self the past, like, the final years of his career, not having to stick to being this hardcore badass.
The beast.
Yeah.
His beast.
He could actually be himself, and you could see him, like, coming out of his shell a little bit because he's a very isolated person.
Yeah. He was, giving us thank yous and crying. I was like, man.
Yeah.
That
Hit me. Like, I was like,
I feel like nobody knew about that. Maybe Trips knew about it. Maybe the big guys, but I feel like Paul didn't know. That I'm pretty
Cole
sure,
and Graves, or Cole and Barrett, I don't think they knew.
I don't think they knew either because you could see Wade, like he was like pointing down at the camera to Michael. He's like, "Yeah, I know. I see what's going on."
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
the thing that really, like, drove it home for me that he was actually retiring was seeing Daniel Cormier standing up and applauding him.
that's where we kind of figured out after Brock probably told Daniel, since they're boys in DC.
Yeah.
Why not use his government? DC.
Yeah. And, like, I was like, man, I hate to say this, but the next one's going to be Randy, and we're both not going to be, I'm not going to be okay.
Bro, you know who's going to still be doing it?
Rey Mysterio?
Yep.
He's never going to stop.
Who was it? It was Cena. Well, yeah. Cena, AJ, and Brock, all 48. and retired. Here's Rey Mysterio jumping through ladders at 51.
Yeah.
Booyaka. That's all I gotta say.
And Ray's the one with the most injuries.
Right.
And he's still doing it.
Right. What is he? I don't know. I want him to stop soon, obviously, but
I feel like he'll stop soon, like, because, you know, he's working down in AAA. I feel like this might have been his last Mania.
I think so, too. Quietly.
I
Because
don't-
he's the, I think he's either what? He's color down there, isn't he?
Yeah, he does commentary. He does, like, he kind of, like, translates a little bit.
Yeah. He does
Because you need that now, because it's a lot more.
Brought in the American audience.
Yeah. AAA is amazing. I've always loved AAA.
Oh, I love AAA.
They have some of the best characters.
Yeah.
Um,
They really do.
so, what was your highlight of Mania? Night 1 and Night 2, encompassing both. What was your highlight? Don't you dare say Punk losing. Because you see I got my Punk shirt on.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly, I got a few moments. The Roman Punk match was really good. I liked that. It did feel like long and drawn out, but I think that's what they were going for. Like the big back and forth between them. Like these dudes are both exhausted, and and as funny as it is, I think Danhausen was a spectacular moment for a very lifeless WrestleMania.
And it even got John Cena involved, and I thought
Right.
it was hilarious. Because John Cena saying that was great. Like, that made it feel...
The Midgethausen's coming out and carrying The Miz backstage. That was hilarious. I think that was my moment for this WrestleMania. I will remember that forever. I will remember this WrestleMania as that. Because it was that lifeless.
WrestleMania housing.
Yeah. The top merch seller.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't really had a real match yet.
No.
He don't need to.
He cursed a ref, and that was like the highlight of that SmackDown for me. Or yeah, it was SmackDown.
Yeah.
I look forward... it's gotten to the point with SmackDown in general. I only look forward to seeing Danhausen.
That's another lifeless show. That show's very lifeless, even without him. It's lifeless, but
You know, I'd rather watch NXT over
Mhm.
SmackDown.
I forgot to watch it.
I watched the highlights. Did you
Yeah.
see the Sol Ruka bump?
Yeah.
Ooh. And she
Split
just
her
got
nose.
called up to the main roster. Like, what are you
I
doing?
was like,
You're gonna Darby Allin
I'm gonna
yourself.
kill her. Anyway, good lord. Well, speaking of Raw, she was on Raw
Mm-hmm.
going against Liv. How'd you like that match?
The match?
Mhm.
Or the competitors? I liked it. I honestly, I told you, I was texting you, I was like, I wish this was for the title.
Yeah.
And I would definitely put the title on Sol Ruka. I feel like that would be a huge moment. And I feel like that would also be... I love Paige. I do. But I feel like that would also be a slap in her face. Because she did it on
Yeah.
a Raw after Mania to
Yeah.
AJ Lee. And I feel like Sol Ruka deserves it. Because of like what she can do in the ring. I don't really know about her promo work.
It's alright.
Yeah,
I
she.
wouldn't say it's the best. Like,
Yeah, she definitely needs a little bit of work in that respect. But I mean, dude, Jeff Hardy got over, and he sucks at doing promos.
Right. It's just what you can do in the ring. And
Yeah.
I kind of like seeing that now where, like, Javon Evans is kind of Jeff Hardy-ish, where that boy's bouncy. Very
Mhm.
bouncy. He can leap higher than Jeff could fall. But he's pretty decent doing promos, cutting stuff backstage.
Yeah.
Soul's alright. She's just alright. I've seen her a few times.
Yeah.
She's just alright. I'd be interested in seeing if they could turn her heel.
I don't think so.
I don't think you can.
No. Even though in NXT they kind of boo her and they cheer Zarya.
Right.
But that's because everybody likes Zarya and they know what she can do in the ring. And she can actually cut a pretty wicked promo.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Yeah.
She's not bad at all.
Because I remember watching her before she got to NXT. I didn't know who she was until, like, there was, like, rumblings of her debuting. I can't remember what her old character name was. Somebody's going to comment. But I decided to YouTube her, and I was just like, holy hell, this girl's going to run roughshod through NXT, and they haven't done anything with her. Not taking away from, like, JC Jane and everything, because JC Jane made me a fan of hers with her title reign.
Yeah, it's very shitheadish, and I like that.
Yeah, because even when she won the title from Stephanie Valkyrie, I was like, really?
Yeah.
JC?
Yeah. Well, I texted you. You're like, what? I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, that's like an out of left field.
It was an out of left field match.
Yeah.
I watched that live. I was like, huh.
That's a weird way for you to take the title off of Stephanie Valkyrie, but then I started watching her, and I was just like,
right into Raw right after that.
Yeah, but then I started watching JC Jane, and I was like, okay. And then Fatal Influence, her little group, I was like,
that group's kind of nice.
Yeah, I started liking them. I started like, they entertained me enough to where I was like, oh, okay, they're on right now. They got a segment. I'm gonna pay attention. You know, for the longest time, like, I've even told you this, I've never really been a big fan of female wrestling. It's changed my mind because they are getting a lot better.
Yeah, they're not just divas and, like, pretty much supermodels or, like, models of sorts going around, just pretending to wrestle and
even
scandalous matches.
My low light of WrestleMania was taking the women's tag team championships off of Nia and Lash.
Yeah.
And putting it on a Bella, first of all. Paige, I don't mind, but a Bella?
Right.
And not even the good Bella.
I'm wondering if they're going to try to get, like, Team Divas versus the Four Horsewomen or something.
God, I hope not. That is going to be a botch fest. And not even on the Four Horsewomen side. It's going to be a botch fest from the Divas.
I know.
Because technically, AJ Lee would have to be on Team Divas.
Right.
She was totally against Team Divas.
Right.
Divas.
I think that's what they're going to do. I don't know.
That's a horrible idea.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
You know what I did see that I think would be kind of neat? Stephanie Valkyrie and Demon Finn.
I saw that. And my thing about Demon Finn, yes, I like it. But I like it in moderation.
Right. And he should only come out when something serious, like with Dom. I
Or,
don't even know if that was that serious to me.
No. Or, you know, when he was supposed to have that match with Bray Wyatt, where Bray Wyatt was supposed to be dressed up like Sister Abigail or whatever.
Yeah.
And when he won the Universal title, he was Demon Finn.
Yeah.
And, you know, he should only be using Demon Finn for, like, big matches, big moments, and only if it's, like, out of necessity, as they say. Like, when Bray Wyatt had The Fiend, he could be Bray Wyatt, or he could be The Fiend. It was the necessity thing. People love seeing The Fiend, but then they put the title on him.
Why they would do that, I don't know.
Money.
Yeah. So that's
Merchandise, sales.
I'm not gonna lie, that belt was really ugly.
I hated
that
belt with a passion.
Yeah. It was very dumb.
It was the dumbest belt I've ever seen. And I put that at the top of dumbest belts, and right below it is a 24/7 belt.
Yeah. My, you know, remember when Daniel Bryan, he was going through that very green earth phase of his life with Eric Rowan?
I hated that belt too.
And
The hemp belt.
The hemp belt with the wood. I was like, oof.
That had Vince written all over it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man.
I was so happy when Kofi won. They got rid of that thing.
Thank you. Throw that belt in the trash as far as you can.
Technically, it'd be a compost pile.
Yeah, you could turn it to a recycle center, yeah.
Yeah. That was an ugly belt. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sorry.
I can't get that belt out of my head. Remember, I think that was around the time Eric Rowan was carrying that like.
It was after the spider.
That was after the spider.
I think it was after the spider because that spider gimmick did not last long. That was another dumb thing.
Yeah. Where did
somebody killed the spider and then they stopped? Like
right. Someone.
It wasn't even a real spider. It was animatronic.
Right. You can see it's like.
Yeah, it was a Halloween decoration in a cage
from Spirit Halloween.
Yeah,
like, dude. These guys.
I do miss Vince because of those moments where you're just like, really?
Yeah. And you know, I miss those days, but I also kind of like it now, where it feels like it's supposed to be an actual sport.
Yeah.
They treat it like a sport. Kind of ever since TKO took over. I kind of like it. I kind of don't, because I want my mythical creatures again.
Yeah, I like the mystique.
Yeah, and they try to do it with the Wyatt Six. It's just falling flat, I think.
I think
they've taken it too far.
They had an awesome debut.
That's cool.
It was amazing. It was crafted perfectly, as Homelander says, like perfect down to every detail. But ever since then, it's like, and even the vignettes, I thought they were awesome. Because remember when Bo was doing his YouTube thing?
Yeah.
And I sent him to you, and I was like,
showing me every day.
I was like, dude, I think he might be coming back, but because he was name dropping WWE a lot, and I was just like, he's not on the active roster.
Yes.
He's not
signed.
Because
they cut him.
Yeah, he's not signed.
That was during the 2020-ish era.
Yeah, like it was like a big, massive cut. Yeah. They cut like a bunch of people, but it's kind of falling flat, man. And I don't know. There's nobody that really has mystique right now. I think the only one is like Alistair, and he's just kind of like the creepy pedophile.
All right, gentlemen, you have 3 minutes, and you better make it good.
You know what that sound means?
I'm scared.
It's a 3-minute warning. This is our time for our hot take. It's the last 3 minutes of the show. I have a hot take question for you.
I had one for you.
Okay. Well, what's yours first?
What do you think holds more weight? Longer title reigns and shorter reigns with longer reigns. So
shorter reigns with more titles?
More titles and shorter reigns. So we'll say 15 titles, they lasted an average 200 days, or you got 7 title that range from 1,000, 500, 600, things like that.
Lower amount of titles, longer reigns.
What do you think about that?
I love it. I feel like it adds more legitimacy to the wrestler. It makes them look unstoppable. Like with Gunther, the 666-day reign for the IC title. That is not going to be touched for a long time.
Right.
He could win another Intercontinental title and hold it for just as long or longer. I don't want to see the IC title on him. I want to see the heavyweight title or the WWE title on him.
I think the heavyweight looks great on him.
But that also brings up a hard thing to do, though, because like I was telling you, when he won the World Heavyweight title, I was like, dude, he's got to hold it a long period of time, or he's going to have to lose in a fluky way, because that's the only way he's going to maintain that dominant character.
Right. And that's kind of what they,
yeah.
And building with him is like he's kind of unstoppable.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, like if you have like 17 title reigns like John Cena, that is awesome. But that means you lost it 17 times.
You lost 17 times, whereas Roman's had it 7 times.
Yeah.
He's held on to what? It was one of the titles, right? He didn't have both at that time.
No, he started with the WWE title, and it was like 1,300 days in total, and then he unified it, or he had the Universal title, and he unified that in the WWE title when he beat Brock.
Right. But like, he's only lost 7 times, or 6 times.
Yeah.
This is the 7th now, but I kind of want to see him a longer reign, but I also want Oba to win.
Yeah.
At SummerSlam.
Oba's up next. Well, before we run out of time,
Yes.
what, in your opinion, is the worst booked match? And yes, I stole it from Chris Van Fleet. What is the worst booked match in history, in your opinion?
Good. We might have to.
We can hold on to it for next week.
Yeah, we'll come back to it next week.
I already have a couple up top there. I don't have a single one.
I gotta sort them around.
We'll do a list of 5 next week.
We can do that.
Yeah, worst booked matches.
All right. Let's do that.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the first episode of Klub Kayfabe. We film normally on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and I think we'll probably drop it on a Friday or something like that.
We can discuss maybe Thursdays.
All right, Thursdays work too. But this isn't a recap show. That's what we just want to put that out there. It's not a recap.
Not a recap. Kind of our opinions, and
Yeah.
we're kind of marks. So
That should be my middle name. But yeah, thank you for joining us. We love you. Click, like, subscribe, all that stuff. We got all the socials. So, until next time, I'm Josh.
Sam.
This is Klub Kayfabe.